Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Todd Chrisley attacked over daughter Chloe being biracial. Former Chrisley Knows Best star Todd Chrisley is speaking out over being attacked due to his daughter being biracial. He detailed his past with other ethnicities and how it was never a problem. Yet that all changed when Chloe came along, and it has been anything but easy. Keep reading for more details. Todd Chrisley attacked over daughter Chloe being biracial. For many years, Todd Chrisley was a father to his own children. Then his son, Kyle Chrisley, had a daughter, Chloe, but he and his partner were unfit. Therefore, Todd and his wife, Julie Chrisley, stepped up and adopted Chloe, going from grandparents to new parents all over again. They did not think twice, as she was so precious and special to the family. When the couple headed to prison, their older daughter, Savannah Chrisley, took custody of Chloe. The biggest problem was when Savannah was referred to as Chloe's aunt, and her parents as her grandparents. That always hurt Chloe to the core, but she is extremely resilient and feels even better now that Todd and Julie have been released. Todd is speaking out anywhere he can and just appeared on Kandi Burruss' podcast. It was there that he shared that he never had a problem with his son, Kyle, dating black women. However, some of the ladies were questionable, and he wished Kyle would want better for himself. Then, Kyle had Chloe, and Todd was lambasted for her being biracial. That was when he saw how the community shamed him, mainly because they saw a biracial child being raised in a white environment. The fear was that she would not be connected to her background, and Savannah was attacked for this as well. She filmed herself and Chloe at Target getting hair supplies, and followers noted that they were in the wrong place. Todd Chrisley never felt there was an issue until he became her parent, and that was when the backlash began. He now recognizes that Chloe may need more than he can give her. Fixing the problem. Todd Chrisley shared that he has gotten Chloe a black nanny and therapist as a way for her to not lose her identity. This is his way of trying all he can to give back to the little girl who loves him so much. So after hearing what Todd went through, were fans empathetic, or did they not care? Some were shocked as they thought Julie and Todd Chrisley had adopted Chloe. They had no clue she was his son's daughter, but she has found the best home for her, and Todd will fight for her all the way. Todd Chrisley has never been one to shy away from controversy. Whether it's his sharp wit, his unapologetic parenting style, or the ongoing drama that seems to swirl around the Chrisley family like a never-ending southern storm, Todd has often found himself in the line of fire. But nothing could have prepared him for the level of vitriol he faced when trolls online took aim at something deeply personal: his granddaughter Chloe's biracial identity. For Todd, Chloe isn't just his granddaughter. She's his daughter in every way that counts. Ever since she was a little girl with her bright eyes, curly hair, and infectious smile, Todd and Julie stepped into the role of parents without hesitation, raising her as their own when Kyle, Todd's son, couldn't provide the stability she needed. To the Chrisleys, Chloe was never a political symbol, never a topic for debate, never an issue to be dissected. She was family, pure and simple. But in the harsh world of social media, simplicity rarely exists. It began with an innocuous post, an adorable photo of Chloe playing dress-up in one of Nanny Faye's oversized hats. Todd uploaded it to Instagram with a lighthearted caption, expecting the usual flood of supportive comments. Most fans adored seeing Chloe's personality shine through, but hidden among the hearts and praise were darker, uglier remarks that attacked her very existence. She doesn't look like the rest of you. Why is she even in your family photos? Admit it, Todd, she's not really yours. At first, Todd ignored them. After all, he'd long ago developed a thick skin when it came to criticism about his wealth, his marriage, his parenting, and even his criminal charges. But when the hate turned directly toward Chloe, toward the child he had sworn to protect at all costs, something inside of him snapped. He took to his podcast, Chrisley Confessions, his voice sharper than usual, cutting through with a mixture of rage and heartbreak. For anyone who wants to come at me about my granddaughter, my daughter, let me make one thing clear, Todd began, his southern drawl steady but laced with fire. Chloe is as much a Chrisley as any of my children. Her skin color, her hair, her heritage, none of that changes the fact that she is loved, valued, and cherished in this family. Shame on anyone who would reduce a child to the shade of her skin. Supporters rallied, flooding social media with the hashtag Chloe Chrisley is loved. Celebrities chimed in, commending Todd for standing firm against racism. But as the Chrisleys learned long ago, attention always comes with a price. The trolls doubled down. Anonymous accounts spewed hate, questioning Todd's motives for raising Chloe, suggesting he used her as a prop for publicity. Others accused him of being fake woke, arguing that his defense was less about Chloe and more about himself. Julie, usually the calm counterbalance to Todd's fire, broke down in tears during a private family discussion captured on Chrisley Knows Best. "They're talking about a little girl," she whispered, her voice trembling. "A child who did nothing but be born. How can people be so cruel?" Chloe, still young but perceptive, overheard more than her family realized. One evening, she tugged at Todd's arm, her voice small but piercing. "Papa, why don't they like me?" The question gutted him. Todd, who had always believed he could shield Chloe from the world's ugliness, suddenly realized he couldn't. "Baby girl," he said, pulling her onto his lap. "There are some people in this world who are broken inside, and broken people say mean things. But you're not broken. You're beautiful, you're smart, you're kind. You shine so bright they can't handle it. That's their problem, not yours." He kissed the top of her head, vowing silently that he would never allow her to grow up believing the lies of bitter strangers. The backlash against Todd only intensified when he announced he was partnering with an anti-racism advocacy group to launch a campaign highlighting the importance of standing up for biracial and Black children growing up in predominantly white families. Some critics dismissed it as performative, while others accused him of using Chloe as a platform. But Todd didn't waver. On national television, he looked directly into the camera, his expression uncharacteristically raw. "I didn't choose for Chloe to be biracial," he said, "but I did choose to be her father. And if that means taking the arrows, standing in the fire, and facing the hate, then so be it. I'll take every hit if it means she gets to live in a world where she knows she's enough." Behind the scenes, the Chrisley household became even more united. Savannah, protective as ever, unleashed her own social media tirades against the trolls, calling out the hypocrisy of people who claim to be fans while tearing down a child. Chase, in his own way, stood by Chloe, posting throwback pictures of the two of them with the caption, "Always my little sister, always family. Don't get it twisted." Even Grayson, usually quiet, voiced his anger, telling producers he couldn't understand why people cared so much about something as meaningless as skin color. The situation brought the family's long-term tensions with Kyle back into focus. Though Kyle had often been at odds with his father, he too spoke up in defense of his daughter. "Chloe doesn't deserve this," he said in a rare interview. "Whatever issues I've had with my family, she's innocent. She deserves love, not hate." As months passed, Todd's fiery response became less about defending Chloe from trolls and more about teaching her resilience. He enrolled her in cultural programs, encouraged her to embrace both sides of her heritage, and surrounded her with mentors who could help her navigate a world that would sometimes see her as different. In one particularly poignant scene filmed for Chrisley Knows Best, Chloe was shown at a school event reciting a poem about identity and belonging. Todd, watching from the audience, had tears streaming down his face. She ended her performance with the line, "I'm Chloe, I'm Chrisley, and I'm proud." The crowd erupted in applause, but it was Todd's voice, loud, booming, and unwavering, that rang out above the rest. "That's my girl." For Todd, the attacks over Chloe being biracial were a painful reminder of how deep prejudice still runs. but they also became an opportunity to rise above hate, to show his granddaughter that love is louder, and to prove once again that, in the Chrisley household, family isn't defined by appearance. It's defined by loyalty, love, and the unshakable bond that not even the cruelest trolls can break.